Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. What do you call her, babe, honey, a queen? Take a moment and really feel the energy behind those words as they leave your lips. Notice the slight tilt of your head, the subtle plea in your voice. These terms which society has sold to you as the gold standard of affection are actually invisible anchors, dragging your masculine core down into the depths. They are not harmless labels. They are admissions of inferiority. You are unknowingly, painstakingly building a pedestal for her, polishing the marble, and then placing her upon it, forcing you to forever crane your neck just to glimpse her face. Every time you utter one of these generic supplicating names, you are broadcasting a single, devastating message. She is the prize, the sun around which your entire universe revolves. And you are just a minor planet, grateful for the warmth, caught helplessly in her gravitational pull. But what if I told you there's another way? A path that most men will never discover because it requires courage instead of compliance. What if there was a type of nicknamer, forbidden nickname that could instantly shatter that pedestal and flip the entire dynamic on its head? Name that doesn't ask for her approval, but instead establishes your world as the one worth entering. This isn't a trick or a cheap psychological hack you can discard. This is a profound shift in polarity, a secret rooted in the raw, unfiltered truth about masculine frame and feminine nature. It's a hidden wisdom the ancient Stoics, those masters of internal empires, understood in their very bones. They knew that true power is never given away, and that deep, lasting attraction is a state that you command, not something you beg for. The average man walks through life like a ghost, believing that the key to a woman's heart is to be as agreeable and pleasing as possible. He calls her my everything, lays his dreams, his ambitions, his very sense of self at her feet, like a sacrificial offering, and then stands there in utter confusion as he feels her respect for him slowly but surely bleed out. He can't understand it. He did everything he was told. Here is the brutal truth he will never hear from her. When you make a woman your everything, you simultaneously and irrevocably become nothing to her. From a raw evolutionary standpoint that operates beneath all conscious thought, you are sending a blaring signal to her primal brain. I have no mission. I have no purpose. My identity is a blank slate for you to write on. You cease to be a compelling force, an adventure to embark upon, and you become a utility. A comfortable, predictable chair is useful, but a woman's soul never craves a chair. It craves a mountain. This is the point where the great Stoic philosophers would look upon the modern man with a deep and knowing pity. Epictetus gave us the master key with his dichotomy of control. Focus only on that which is truly yours to command your thoughts, your judgments, your actions. Your desperate attempt to control her feelings for you through an endless waterfall of flattery and worship is a fool's errand of the highest order. You are focusing on an external her validation, and that is a game that is fundamentally rigged against you from the very beginning. Your core judgment is that you need her approval to feel whole, to feel like a man. By using these weak, pestilizing names, you are not just giving her a key. You are handing her the deed to your entire emotional kingdom and asking her to please be a benevolent ruler. You are making yourself a willing slave to her every reaction. The philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, wrote in his private journal words meant for no one but himself: the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Now look around. Look at how the majority of men operate. They are lost in a state of quiet insanity, constantly checking their phones, analyzing the length of her texts, orbiting her social media, hoping that if they just run hard enough, if they just like enough of her pictures, the object of their affection will finally stop, turn around, and grant them the validation they crave. The Stoic path is to stop running entirely. It is to turn inward and build your own internal kingdom. First, a kingdom with unbreakable walls of discipline, a throne of purpose, and a courtyard of unshakable calm. Only then, from that place of sovereign strength, can you open the gates and invite her in to see the world that you, and you alone, have built. This understanding completely reframes the nature of the relationship. She is not your destination. She is your fellow traveler. Let that sink in. She is not a goddess to be appeased or a prize to be won, but a worthy companion to walk the rugged path of life with. This is the practical application of amor fati, the radical acceptance and love of one's fate. You don't just tolerate the challenges and imperfections she brings, you embrace them as part of the shared journey. You are two explorers mapping a wild and unknown territory together. The forbidden nickname is born from this profound, grounded perspective. It is a name that acknowledges her strength, her fire, her flaws, and her unique spirit. And it says with quiet confidence, I see you, all of you, and I am not intimidated. In fact, I am intrigued. So, what is this mythical, forbidden nickname? It isn't a single word I can just hand you, because the moment I do, its power vanishes. A borrowed sword has no edge. The forbidden nickname is a category of name, a name that you must forge in the fires of your own authentic observation. It's a name born from a place of playful challenge. A name that proves you see the real woman behind the carefully constructed mask. She shows the world, so you must forget beautiful, stunning, and gorgeous. These are compliments for her mask. Instead, if she possesses a fiery, passionate spirit that constantly tests you, you let a calm smirk touch your lips and you call her Sparky. If she has a wickedly mischievous side and clearly loves to push your buttons in a charming way, you begin to refer to her, and only her, as trouble. If she is fiercely ambitious and tries to organize everything, you might ironically, affectionately call her Captain. Do you feel the seismic shift in that energy? These names have nothing to do with her physical appearance, which is what every other man focuses on. They are about her character. I remember a woman I knew once, brilliant and sharp-tongued, who never let me get away with a single lazy thought. For weeks, I just watched and listened. Then, one evening, during a playful debate she was clearly winning, I simply stopped. Let the silence hang in the air, smiled, and said, "All right, settle down, trouble." The air crackled. The game changed. It wasn't an insult. It was a coronation of her true spirit. It was a name that said, I see your fire, and not only am I unafraid of it, I find it deeply amusing. It is a statement of elite discernment. A demonstration that you are not just another man passing by. You are a man who pays attention. So here is your mission, a direct assignment from me to you. For the next 7 days, you will cease all efforts to please her. Your sole objective is to observe her as a naturalist observes a rare and fascinating creature. Stop the waterfall of hollow compliments and just watch. What is the unique spark that makes her truly herself? Notice how she handles a stressful situation. The way her eyes light up when she talks about something she genuinely loves, the specific brand of her stubbornness. Find that trait, the one that is hers and hers alone. Then your second step is to forge a name from it in the smithy of your mind. It must be a name that makes you smile with a private, deep amusement when you think of it. This name is for you first, an expression of your frame, your reality. The third step is deployment, and it requires calm courage. You do not ask for permission. You wait for the perfect moment, a moment of high energy. If you've playful tension on, you deliver it with a relaxed posture and a confident, amused tone. Let's say you've chosen trouble. She will react, and her reaction is the test. She might laugh, she might be shocked, or she might playfully challenge you and say, I am not trouble. This is the final and most critical step, where most men fold. You must hold your frame like a Roman standard in the face of a barbarian charge. Do not apologize. Do not retreat. Do not explain yourself. You simply hold her gaze, maintain that slight smile, and reply with something as simple as, "We'll see about that." In that single moment, you have just passed a profound test of your masculine core. You've proven, without a shadow of a doubt, that your frame is stronger than her challenge. In the final analysis, you must understand that the nickname itself is nothing. It is a puff of air, a collection of sounds. It holds no magic. But the man who can give it, the man who has the perception to see the truth behind the veil, the confidence to bestow a label from his own reality, and the stoic fortitude to stand by it unflinchingly, that man is everything. He is a man who navigates not by her emotional whims, but by his own internal compass. He is a man who is not swayed by the shifting winds of her approval or the fleeting storms of her disapproval. He is a modern Stoic. A woman does not become obsessed with a word. She becomes utterly and completely captivated by the unshakable, masculine source of that word. She is drawn to the strength, the certainty, the solid ground that a centered man provides in a world of emotional chaos. This journey was never truly about getting the girl. It was always about becoming the man who was worthy of a queen, or, as you might playfully call her, your favorite little nuisance. The so-called obsession, you see, is merely a natural byproduct of her deep, instinctual, and biological attraction to a man who has built an empire within himself. So stop trying to win her over. That is the game of boys. Start building your empire. Lay the foundation, one disciplined action at a time. Master yourself, and you will find that the world and everyone in it has no choice but to look at you differently.